Welcome back to the course of machine learning with Python with Waqas Arshad. So let's start with what is machine learning. Before giving you a formal definition of machine learning, first we understand what it is. Let's start with a practical example. There is a human cell sample extracted from a patient. One of the interesting questions we can ask at this point is this a benign or malignant cell? In contrast with a benign tumor, a malignant tumor is a tumor that may spread around the body. One could easily find this that only an experienced doctor he could diagnose that tumor and say if the patient is developing cancer or not. Well, imagine that you have obtained a dataset containing characteristics of thousands of human cell samples extracted from the patients who were believed to be at risk of developing cancer. Analysis of the original data showed that many of the characteristics differed significantly between benign and malignant samples. Now you can use the values of those cell characteristics in samples from other patients to give an early indication of whether a new sample might be benign or malignant. So what steps we need to do? You should clean your data, select a proper algorithm for building a prediction model, and train your model to understand patterns of benign or malignant cells within the data. Once the data had been trained by going through data iteratively, it can be used to predict your new or unknown cell with a rather high accuracy. This is machine learning. It is a way that a machine learning model can do a doctor task or at least help the doctor make the process faster. Now let me give you a formal definition of machine learning. Machine learning is the subfield of computer science that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Let me explain what I mean when I say without being explicitly programmed. Assume that you have a dataset of images of animals such as cats and dogs and you want to have software or an application that can recognize and differentiate them. The first thing that you have to do here is interpret the images as a set of feature sets. For example, does the image show the animal's eyes? If so, what is their size? Does it have ears? What about a tail? How many legs? Does it have wings? Prior to machine learning, each image would be transformed to a vector of features. Then traditionally we have to write down some rules or method in order to get computers to be intelligent and detect the animals. But it was a failure. Why is that? Well, as you can guess, it needed a lot of rules highly dependent on the current dataset and not generalized enough to detect out of sample cases. This is when machine learning comes into the picture. Using machine learning allows us to build a model that looks at all the feature sets and their corresponding type of animals and learns the pattern of each animal. It is a model built by machine learning algorithms. It detects without explicitly being programmed to do so. In fact, machine learning follows the same process that a 4-year-old child uses to learn, understand, and differentiate animals. Now, what about the other applications? First, how do you think that Netflix and Amazon recommend videos, movies, and TV shows to its users? They use machine learning to produce suggestions that you might enjoy. Also, how do you think banks make a decision when approving a loan application? They use machine learning to predict the probability of default for each applicant and then approve or refuse the loan applications based on that probability. Interesting, right? let's try to build those models in the next video and start working on them. Till then, take care.